Question 551. What potential factor could pose a threat that might harm a part or the entire network? A. Single point of failure. B. Dual failure point. C. Lost access point. D. Single access point. Correct answer. A. Single point of failure. Single point of failure refers to a component or part of a network, system, or infrastructure that, if it fails, could disrupt or bring down the entire network or system. This poses a significant threat because if that single component fails, the whole network or system may be unable to function, leading to potential downtime and loss of service. Question 552. The board of directors at a company hired an insurance firm to limit the organization's liability. Which risk management strategy does this most accurately represent? A. Avoidance. B. Transference. C. Mitigation. D. Acknowledgement. Correct answer. B. Transference. Transference is a risk management strategy in which an organization shifts the financial impact of a risk to a third party, such as an insurance firm. By hiring an insurance company, the board of directors ensures that potential liabilities are covered, reducing the company's direct financial exposure. Question 553. What is the primary purpose of authentication in the CompTIA framework? A. To track user activities in the system. B. To grant access to specific resources. C. To verify the identity of a user or device. D. To log access details for reporting. Correct answer. C. To verify the identity of a user or device. Authentication in the CompTIA, authentication, authorization, and accounting framework is the process of verifying the identity of a user or device attempting to access a system or network. It ensures that the entity requesting access is who they claim to be, usually by using methods like passwords, biometrics, or certificates to ensure that unauthorized users or devices are not granted access to sensitive resources. Question 554. Which risk management strategy is the organization using if it decides to purchase an insurance policy after a risk assessment reveals that the cost of addressing the risk is higher than the 5-year cost of the policy? A. Avoidance. B. Acceptance. C. Mitigation. D. Transference. Correct answer. D. Transference. Transference is a risk management strategy used to shift financial responsibility for potential losses to a third party by purchasing insurance or outsourcing certain risks. It helps organizations manage risk exposure by ensuring compensation for damages without directly investing in mitigation measures. Question 555. Despite all the efforts a company makes to protect its assets and sensitive information, these efforts may be ineffective unless the systems are thoroughly checked to ensure that all security measures are functioning properly. What are these checks called? A. Testing drills. B. Security testing. C. Physical access auditing. D. Patrol drills. Correct answer. B. Security testing. Security testing is the process of evaluating systems, networks, and applications to identify vulnerabilities and ensure that all security measures are functioning properly. This ensures that potential weaknesses are detected and mitigated before they can be exploited, strengthening overall protection. Question 556. Which protocol operates at 2.4 GHz and offers a bandwidth of either 1 Mbps or 2 Mbps? A. 802.11g, B, 802.11a, 802.11b, 802.11. Correct answer, D, 802.11. The 802.11 protocol is a wireless networking standard that operates at a frequency of 2.4 GHz. It provides a bandwidth of 1 Mbps or 2 Mbps, serving as the foundation for later wireless standards by supporting basic wireless communication in its early implementations. Question 557. Members of a development team, after making necessary code changes individually, upload them to a shared platform where a tool is used to validate the code and manage source code using version control. Which of the following best describes this process? A. Continuous deployment. B. Continuous delivery. C. Continuous integration. D. Continuous validation. Correct answer, C. Continuous integration. Continuous integration is a software development practice where developers frequently upload their individual code changes to a shared platform. This allows an automated tool to validate the code, run tests, and manage version control, ensuring that the changes integrate smoothly into the main codebase. Question 558. What makes SSL stripping particularly hazardous on open Wi-Fi networks? A. 802.11 mosaic is insecure, allowing traffic to be redirected. B. Open hotspots can be accessed by any user. C. Open hotspots do not verify their identity securely. D. WPA2 is not secure enough to prevent this. Correct answer, C. Open hotspots do not verify their identity securely. When users connect to open Wi-Fi networks, there is no authentication or encryption mechanism to ensure that the network is legitimate. This lack of verification makes it easy for attackers to set up rogue access points and perform SSL stripping attacks, where they intercept and downgrade secure HTTPS connections to unsecure HTTP, allowing them to capture sensitive information such as login credentials and personal data. Question 559. Which of the following describes an anti-malware tool that allows for the automated analysis of suspicious files in a sandbox environment? A. Cuckoo. B. FTK Imager. C. WinHex. D. Metasploit. Correct answer, A. Cuckoo. Cuckoo is an open-source automated malware analysis tool that allows suspicious files to be executed in a sandbox environment, where their behavior can be analyzed without causing harm to the system. It is widely used for dynamic analysis of malware, enabling security professionals to observe how malware interacts with the system and network. Question 560. What is the purpose of microsegmentation in Zero Trust? A. To improve network speed. B. To divide network resources into smaller zones. C. To allow unrestricted access to internal resources. D. To authenticate external users only. Correct answer, B. To divide network resources into smaller zones. Microsegmentation in Zero Trust divides network resources into smaller zones, enabling granular security policies. This limits the spread of threats, ensuring that even if one zone is compromised, others remain protected. By isolating critical systems and data, it strengthens the Zero Trust principle of never trust, always verify, guarding against lateral attack movement within the network. Question 561. Which of the following accurately describes a zombie? A. Single point of failure. B. A technique used in social engineering. C. A worm. D. A virus that replicates itself. Correct answer. A. Single point of failure. A zombie refers to a compromised computer that is under the control of a hacker, often as part of a botnet. These zombies are used to carry out distributed denial-of-service attacks or other malicious activities without the knowledge of the system's owner. Question 562. What type of virus targets a system using multiple methods? A. Stealth. B. Retrovirus. C. Multipartite. D. Polymorphic. Correct answer. C. Multipartite. Multipartite viruses can infect systems in multiple ways, such as by infecting both the boot sector and executable files. This ability to attack through various vectors makes them particularly challenging to detect and remove, as they can spread and cause damage through different parts of the system simultaneously. Question 563. What design principle restricts access to systems from external users and simultaneously protects users and systems within the local area network? A. DMZ. B. VLAN. C. Router. D. Guest network. Correct answer. A. DMZ. A DMZ, demilitarized zone, is a security architecture that enables external users to have limited access to public-facing servers while preventing outside users from accessing systems within the LAN. It is a common practice to place web servers in the DMZ. On the other hand, a virtual LAN is typically used to divide the internal network. Routers direct traffic based on IP address, and a guest network enables non-employee internal users to access the Internet. Question 564. Which cryptographic hash function generates a 128-bit hash and is not resistant to collisions? A. SHA. B. AES. C. MD5. D. 3DES. Correct answer. C. MD5. MD5, Message Digest Algorithm 5, is a cryptographic hash function that generates a 128-bit hash value from an input. While it was widely used for data integrity checks, MD5 is no longer considered secure because it is vulnerable to collision attacks, where two different inputs can produce the same hash value. Question 565. Physical and logical network diagrams represent network architecture. A physical network diagram shows hardware devices and physical connections between them, while a logical network diagram describes traffic flow and includes information on IP addressing, subnets, device roles, and protocols in use. Is this statement true or false? A. True. B. False. Correct answer. A. True. Physical and logical network diagrams are essential tools for representing network architecture. It focuses on the hardware devices, e.g., servers, routers, switches, and the physical connections between them, providing a tangible view of the network's infrastructure. Conversely, a logical network diagram illustrates traffic flow and includes key details such as IP addressing, subnets, device roles, and protocols. Question 566. Which type of security system is designed to identify irregularities in log and event data collected from various network devices? A. SNMP. B. PCAP. C. CHIPS. D. CM. Correct answer. D. CM. Security Information and Event Management is a security system designed to identify irregularities in log and event data collected from various network devices by aggregating, analyzing, and correlating security logs. It helps detect anomalies, potential threats, and compliance violations by providing real-time monitoring and alerting. Question 567. What access control model grants or denies resource access based on the entries in an access control list? A. Role-based access control. B. Mandatory access control. C. Rule-based access control. D. Lattice-based access control. Correct answer. C. Rule-based access control. Rule-based access control is an access control model that grants or denies resource access based on predefined rules stored in an access control list. These rules specify conditions such as time of access, network location, or specific actions, ensuring security policies are consistently enforced. Question 568. Which account policy setting prevents users from reusing their previous passwords? A. Password expiration. B. Password history. C. Password length. D. Password complexity. Correct answer. B. Password history. Password history is an account policy setting that enforces restrictions on the reuse of passwords by users. It works by maintaining a record of a specified number of previously used passwords, preventing users from selecting any of those passwords when creating a new one. Question 569. Which of the following describes a hierarchical framework for the creation, management, storage, distribution, and revocation of digital certificates? A. Web of Trust. B. PKI. C. IaaS. D. CA. Correct answer. B. PKI. PKI, Public Key Infrastructure, is a framework used for the creation, management, storage, distribution, and revocation of digital certificates. It enables secure communication through public and private keys, ensuring that data is transmitted securely by verifying identities and enabling encryption. Question 570. What is the role of Unified Extensible Firmware Interface Secure Boot? A. It verifies the version of the system BIOS. B. It guards against worms during the boot sequence. C. It checks the signature of each binary file loaded during the boot process. D. All of the above, all of the key. Correct answer. C. It checks the signature of each binary file loaded during the boot process. UEFI Secure Boot is a security feature designed to ensure that only trusted software is loaded during the boot process. It verifies the digital signature of each binary file, such as bootloaders and operating system files, to ensure that the software hasn't been tampered with or altered by malicious programs. Question 571. Ethan knows that when a switch is unsure of a node's location, it will broadcast a query to find it. If other switches within the same broadcast domain don't know the node either, they will also broadcast the query, which can result in excessive traffic that escalates quickly. What port-level security feature can Ethan activate to prevent this? A. Block all broadcast packets. B. Enable storm control. C. Use ARP blocking. D. None of the above. Correct answer. B. Enable storm control. Storm control is a port-level security feature that helps prevent broadcast storms, which occur when excessive broadcast traffic floods the network. as described in the scenario. When storm control is enabled, it limits the amount of broadcast, multicast, and unknown unicast traffic that a port can forward. This prevents excessive traffic and mitigates broadcast storms from escalating. Question 572. Sophia works as an infrastructure administrator at a school. Teachers have raised concerns about students misusing the internet in the computer labs. Which solution should Sophia implement to prevent this? A. Firewall. B. Antivirus. C. Latest security patches. D. Content filtering software. Correct answer. D. Content filtering software. Content filtering software is a tool used to restrict access to specific types of content on the internet by blocking or controlling access to websites based on categories or keywords. This software helps manage and monitor internet usage in environments such as schools, ensuring students only access appropriate content while reducing the risk of exposure to harmful or distracting websites. Question 573. What type of cryptography is utilized in TLS? A. Symmetric. B. Equal. C. Unequal. D. Asymmetric. Correct answer. D. Asymmetric. Transport layer security uses asymmetric cryptography during the initial handshake to securely exchange encryption keys between the client and server. It employs public key cryptography, where a public key encrypts data and a private key decrypts it, ensuring secure communication. Question 574. What is the purpose of an SSID in a wireless network? A. To identify the network. B. To improve signal strength. C. To enhance connectivity. D. To provide encryption. Correct answer. A. To identify the network. Service Set Identifier is the unique name assigned to a wireless network, allowing devices to identify and connect to it. It distinguishes one Wi-Fi network from another, preventing confusion when multiple networks are present. SSIDs are essential for managing wireless connectivity in homes, businesses, and public spaces, ensuring users connect to the correct network. Question 575. Megan's company uses a voice-over IP system that relies on SIP. What is the most likely security threat affecting their phone calls? A. Call interception. B. Denial of service attacks. C. Vishing. D. War dialing. Correct answer. A. Call interception. When using a voice-over IP system, especially with the session initiation protocol, call interception is one of the most significant security threats. IP packets can be intercepted and analyzed by attackers if proper encryption and security measures, like TLS, are not implemented. Question 576. Which of the following best describes the continuous delivery software development model? A. Waterfall. B. Spiral. C. V-shaped. D. Agile. Correct answer. D. Agile. Agile is a software development model that supports continuous delivery, allowing teams to frequently release small, incremental updates rather than waiting for a full product release. It emphasizes flexibility, iterative development, and continuous feedback to improve software quality and responsiveness. Question 577. If I want to gather information about as many people as possible without them knowing, and I need to identify who has modems, what approach should I take? A. Browsing. B. War dealing. C. Line attacks. D. None of the above. Correct answer. B. War dealing. War dealing is an automated technique used to scan phone numbers and identify active modems by systematically dialing a range of numbers and listening for modem responses. It is commonly used by attackers or security testers to find vulnerable systems that rely on dial-up connections. Since it operates without user awareness, war dealing is effective for gathering information stealthily. Question 578. Which of the following biometric methods is regarded as the most precise among the various types of biometric authentication? A. Iris scan. B. Retina scan. C. Facial geometry. D. Fingerprint scan. Correct answer. B. Retina scan. Retina scan is a biometric authentication method that analyzes the unique pattern of blood vessels in the retina to verify identity. It offers the highest level of accuracy among biometric methods due to the retina's stability and complexity, resulting in a very low false acceptance rate. Question 579. Which of the following password cracking methods usually takes the longest to break a message? A. Brute force. B. Rainbow. C. Dictionary. D. Birthday. Correct answer. A. Brute force. Brute force is a password cracking method that involves trying every possible combination of characters until the correct one is found. This method typically takes the longest because it doesn't rely on any shortcuts or pre-computed values. The time it takes depends on the complexity and length of the password being cracked. Question 580. In innate security, the term data minimization refers to removing unnecessary characters from source code to make it harder for humans to understand and faster for machines to process. A. True. B. False. Correct answer. B. False. Data minimization in IT security refers to the principle of collecting only the necessary data and minimizing the exposure of sensitive information. It is a practice aimed at reducing the amount of data collected, stored, and processed in order to limit the risks associated with data breaches and privacy concerns. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful for you, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more practice questions and tips.